weeks I told you there's only 2 places where they talk about Joseph in the entire Bible. One of them we heard when the angel came and told him that it was okay to be an honorable person and go ahead and marry Mary. The other one is here, where God gives Joseph another warning, more than a warning, another job to do. Now, I don't know about any of you, but a few of us left home, right? Left what we were familiar with. We've gone ahead and we've packed up and we've moved, and some of us have even gone to places where we knew absolutely no one. We just arrived. I know when I first arrived here, there were a couple things I had to do. One is convince this church that it was all right to have a woman preacher. Second thing I had to do was find a job that would pay the bills. And that took a while. And I'd question whether I'd done the right thing when I listened to God and came down here. Have any of you ever done that? Actually questioned God, have I done the right thing? Joseph. I think that's the thing that I find so appealing about him. He didn't ask questions, he just did. He did exactly what God had told him to do. He packed up Mary, and he packed up the child, Jesus. And he left. He went to Egypt, a strange country. It doesn't tell us what he did there, but I'm sure he had to find a job. I'm sure he had to find a place for a shelter for him and Mary and this baby. I'm sure he had to do the things that most of us have to do as human beings to survive. I'm sure it wasn't easy. It would have been much easier for him to just stay where he was, where he already had a job as a carpenter and had a place to stay and all of those different things. But Joseph was a man of faith who listened to what God said and didn't question God. He just went ahead and did it. I admire that in a person. When I read the book of Hebrews and it talks about Jesus becoming flesh and feeling the same things we did and being willing to sacrifice all he had. So you and I didn't have to be afraid of death. Did you guys check that part out of it where it talked about how afraid humans are of death? I know it's true. I've been in a lot of places and a lot of places I prefer not to be, I think, when people are losing a loved one and they're so afraid they're going to lose them forever. I've been in those places where someone's dying and they're clinging with their last fingers to life because they're so afraid of what's going to come afterwards. I think about us as human beings. Each and every one of us. Now, I don't know about you, but I faithfully take my high blood pressure medicine, my diabetes medicine. Lord, let's not forget using the inhalers in the morning. Let's not forget about taking the antacid stuff they give you, so you don't have that. Let's talk honestly. When I get really sick, I look at Suzette and I say, I gotta go to the doctor. How many of us are clinging to life? It's not that it's a bad thing. God has given us this life, and I think we need to get every second and every moment we can out of it. But how many of us do it because we fear what's coming afterwards? That's the real question here. And Jesus, or the writers of the book of Hebrews, just were simply saying you don't have to worry about it because Jesus already showed. There is life after death. There is that time when God will call all his children home. Those are what for us? Leaps of faith. But I'd love to be, and I've been at a few of those bedsides where people are just ready. I don't know if you know what I mean, but they simply say, I'll see you after a while. And I know they're ready. They're ready to go on. They have met the biggest fear in their life, which for most of us is death. And to step over that threshold with a clean heart, with a clean mind, knowing we're just going to the next place. That's what Hebrews was talking about. Just simply telling you that. Jesus did it. Jesus showed us the way. So fear not, my children. I like that. Fear not, my children. And each and every one of us need to remember that. One of the greatest gifts that was given to us at Christmas time was simply that phrase, fear not. The angels said it when they talked to the shepherds. They say it in the book of Hebrews, fear not. We have God on our side. I think about that. What it means to have God on your side, to have that gift of God. Doesn't mean our life is going to be perfect. Lord knows that's not going to happen. Because I think by some of our trials and our tribulations we go. I think by some of those things that happen in our life, it gives us a little something called empathy. Empathy for that person next to us. When they're sick, when their hearts are broken, when they're in trouble. So God does allow other people to interfere with our lives, I guess is the way to really say it. Because they have a free will too. And when those other people interfere and we're hurt and we're broken, or when something like disease hits us, that's when our faith is called forth, to be like Joseph. Sometimes all we can do is to rely on the fact that God is there with us. And get up and go. Get up and go through whatever God is calling you to go through. God is always there to make a way. Well, preacher, what do you mean? I don't know. I mean something as simple as this. Last time I was sick and went to the doctor, I went to the hospital and they gave me antibiotics and they took care of me, and Suzette took care of me, and I got through it. God made a way. He made a way with the doctors, the nurses, whoever was there to help me, to be with me, to get me through. When my heart was broken, God was there to get me through. Sometimes I had to go kicking and screaming to get through it, but God allowed me to do the kicking and the screaming and got me through. I think about all those wonderful things we have, and none of us are as grateful as we should be for just the small wonderful things in our lives. Are we grateful for friends? Think about it. For real friends. Those people I can pick up the phone and call and they'll say, okay, let me check it out. Okay, we can. Are we grateful for those people that love us even when we're not lovable? Lord knows I am. Because there are those times when I'm not too lovable. Are we grateful for the fact that I can just feel the sunshine on my face? I don't know about the rest of you, but coming to church today, Suzette said, it's so beautiful, the sun is shining, it felt so good. I'm so tired of the rain. I'm so tired of the cold. I'm tired of running around with the heater on in my car. And when the sun is shining, I don't have to do those things. The sun naturally warms me, warms the car, warms our heart. Are you grateful for those days? Are we grateful for the smiles that we see on the face of those we love? Are we grateful for those folks that will reach out and help us when we really need the help? Last night, my sister Mary called at 10:30 or something like that. I don't know about you, but I hate to get calls after 9 o'clock, because that usually means somebody's dead. You know what I mean? Or somebody's hurt in the hospital. And she called me because she was lonely. There's a part of me that had to sit and think, I'm grateful that Mary knows I'll listen to her. And Mary knows I'll say I love you. And Mary knows we'll answer the phone. And God bless my sister Mary. How many of us feel that way about the folks that we can pick up the phone and call at 10 o'clock at night? Or the folks that love us enough to call us and deal with us? It's a blessing in life. Are we blessed by the things that are changing in this world? I'm thrilled. We have a legally married couple in the church. They went to New Mexico. A judge, a district judge or something of that nature, did their ceremony. Who in the world would have thought that had ever happened in our lifetime? Are you grateful for it? Are you grateful that there's now 17 states? Soon to be 18 when Illinois goes into effect. Thank you, Jesus, for loving human beings enough to change those minds and saying that all God's people count and all God's people are equal. That's what I love about God. God changes things. Sometimes not as quick as I'd like, because I'm impatient. And I'll do a lot of praying and I'll say, I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. And then I forget about it and go on. And 5 or 10 years down the road, it happens. God knows the right thing, whether you want it or not, whether you want it or not. God knows when you need the blessings. And God knows what's good for you. It's not saying that only good things happen to God's people, because Lord knows that's not what the Bible promised. We promised that we were shown the way when Christ came as a baby and grew up. Learned to help others. Learned to talk to God in those times of need. And learned how to give all he had for each and every one of us. We're blessed by God because we have that example of how we should live our lives. But we're also blessed because God gets us through that valley of the shadow of death, as well as those times when we're high in the mountain and all things are going well. Those are the gifts of Christmas. That is what it's all about. Is simply finding blessings that God has given us each and every day, and the blessings that are yet to come. You know, wishing doesn't work, but loving God does. And he'll get you where you need to be, because she loves you just